Welcome back everybody to Forza Horizon 6, and today we're taking a look at the 1998 Nissan Silvia K's Aero. So much like with the 1994 version of the Silvia K's that I've already reviewed, this is also part of the S14 generation that was produced between 1994 and 1998. But that said, this is part of the facelift that the S14 got in 1996, which added more aggressive looking projector headlamps, and tinted taillights to all models. However, this Aero version of the K's went even further with the styling modifications, as a much larger rear wing, as you can see, has been added, along with some ground effect bodywork to improve downforce and aerodynamic efficiency at higher rates of speed. It also has a slightly changed interior as well. Now this could just be because the car was optioned with these over the other S14 that we've got that didn't have these, but as you can see, it does have white dials which have a blue tint to them when the car is turned on, and you've also got 3 dials in the center console here as well, which determine the voltage, coolant level and turbo boost. And you've also got these different seats which are a little bit more a little less plain than the ones in the 1994 version of the Silvia K's. But that said, everything else about this car outside of the slight changes in aerodynamic efficiency and downforce is the same, and that includes the engine. So it's still a 2-litre turbocharged inline 4 engine that also still produces 217 horsepower and 202 pounds-feet of torque, while the car still weighs 2,789 pounds, and all of that power is still going through a 5-speed manual gearbox, and it is rear-wheel drive. So yeah, it's literally only the way this car looks, some of the downforce and the aerodynamic efficiency that is the main changes to this. So yeah, but that's no bad thing, you know. You're basically just refining the car, updating it slightly to fit the style of the times and such. So yeah, no issues with that at all. And yeah, we can also radically change the way that this car looks as well. Go to the rear, for instance. We can change the spoiler and the rear bumper. So there's several options for the spoiler, as you can see. So we'll go through those quickly now. So mostly aftermarket wings, or you can just remove it entirely, which, as you can see, does increase the speed of the car dramatically. As you'll see there, 6.6 without, 5.7 with. So that alone shows that the rear spoiler is working in terms of producing downforce and such. And like I said, we can also change the rear bumper. So just a one option there. You can also do the same with the side skirts. Which again reduces drag. And you can also do the same with the front bumper as well. So not massively radical in terms of the side skirts and the front and rear bumper, but obviously the spoiler is quite radically changed. But you can also put a whole new body kit on this, which completely changes the way that this car looks. And we've had this body kit in the past on previous Forza games. As you can see, it makes it look more like a muscle car. Also exposes the intercooler, widens the track, which therefore means you've got additional fenders there. Also radically changes the rear to make it look like it's unfinished. Looks like it's just come out of the factory without the rear bumper, basically. So yeah, that obviously radically changes the way that the car looks, and also in terms of the way it handles. As you can see, the braking and the handling go up as well, although it does add weight. But still, yeah, I've always kind of liked that look of that car. I just wish the rear bumper was a little bit better, or there was one at all, because I really like the way that the front end is changed. But yeah, just to see how much different this is in comparison to the older 4-year-older version, we'll have to go out onto the track. So let's go out to the Hakubu circuit and see just what this car can do. Right, here we are at the Hakubu circuit, and as per usual, we'll hear what the car sounds like, then we'll talk about it some more. So yeah, with the engine not changing in terms of horsepower, torque or size or anything like that, it does sound the same as the 94 version of the Silvia Ks. But I would say this, I feel like it drives a little bit more, stably. It's a bit more consistent than the 94 version, and in terms of acceleration there are some slight differences as well. Not a major difference in terms of 0 to 60 time, as that is around 6.231 seconds, but there is a significant change in terms of the 0 to 100 time, which can only really put down to the more aerodynamic efficient body, and that is 15.746 seconds to 100, whereas the 94 version can do it in 17.209 seconds. Now granted though, with the additional downforce and such, this is slightly slower at the top end at 157, whereas the older version could do 159. But yeah, overall, yeah, it does handle a little bit better than the previous car, and that is evidenced by the fact that this has a slightly higher G rating. So this can pull 0.91 of a G at 60 and 0.95 of a G at 100. Whereas the older version can do 0.9 at 60 and 0.94 at 100. So not radically different or anything like that. It's just, slightly better, and that alone makes it a worthy addition to the game and a worthy vehicle in its own right as well. So yeah, it's all going to really come down to how you like the look of the car, really, because obviously that has changed quite significantly. It's a lot more aggressive, a lot less subtle and such, especially with the rear wing on it. But yeah, it kind of does point towards the kind of like tuner kind of scene that these cars were obviously heavily involved in, and it feels like Nissan trying to cotton onto that kind of scene with the spoiler and the more aggressive looks. But obviously with that scene, most cars have radically changed anyway, so yeah, it seems a little bit mute to do that. But it is a decent refresh to the car, and at the end of the day, it's not just about the looks. It is slightly better in terms of handling, slightly quicker to 100, and yeah, is more consistent in terms of its handling as well. So yeah, overall a reasonable looking car, and yeah, a decent refresh to the S14. But we will be looking at the next generation in another review in the future. That is a new car to the Forza series, I believe, as well. So yeah, looking forward to trying that one out. But nonetheless, thank you for watching, and I'll see you with the next one. Bye.